Nuggumbi, 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 which means welcome, welcome, welcome in Darrell language. My name is Arnie Maxine Ryan and I'm from the Aboriginal community of Botany Bay and I belong to the Darrell Nation. But I would like to acknowledge the Bidjigal clan, the land we're meeting on this evening, and acknowledge my elders past, present and those emerging. And any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people that are here this evening, I welcome you all here. And we are here. We are here still surviving, as we are the oldest culture in the world. And we're still here after 65,000 years. And that is a thank you to my elders and my ancestors for looking after the beautiful land. And everybody, that's been around and looking after the beautiful land too. And as I am passionate about going into schools and teaching the young generation about looking after the land, I love their stories. They tell me their stories. And, I do a lot of welcomes for all the cultures coming into Australia when they become Australian citizens. So the children, they love putting their hand up and letting me know that they're from that family. And I love hearing their stories because their culture I love listening to. And I love them sharing their cultures just like I love sharing mine. And as I say, they are our future. They are our leaders. They will be running my country one day. And, all of us here, and that's what we do for our young ones. We are their role models. We are there. We are out there wherever we go and our communities. And I'm proud to come from my community, my Aboriginal community, and be a leader for my young generation. And, we do a lot of work in our communities. So I do thank you for that and keep on being them role models that we are, because that's what the young generation look up to. And the journeys that they will be taking on this land, Aboriginal land, always was, always will be. I do wish them all the best because they'll take lots of journeys. We're still taking lots of journeys. We still haven't finished. And that's what I say to the children, keep on going and keep your culture strong because their culture is strong, just like my culture is very strong. And we have our beliefs and I have my beliefs. I have my Dreamtime stories. Because I know when I go, I will see my siblings, my parents, and everybody else I met along the way. So that's what I teach them, to cherish their culture and keep it close to them. Because I have a multicultural family too, and they're all multicultural. They come from, different cultures. So we're all there together and we all grow together. So please keep on joining me in looking after this beautiful land and teaching our children how to do that and how to survive, because we can keep on living for thousands and thousands of years all together as one. So on that note, I don't say goodbye, as I say to the children. Keep your culture and I keep mine. I say Nundawabi in my language, and that means if I don't see you around, I will see you in the dream time. Have a great evening and take care. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I would like to declare the meeting open at 7:05 p.m. Firstly, I'd like to again congratulate all councillors on their election to council. As returning officer, I am chairing this meeting until the mayor and the deputy mayor are elected. Members of the gallery are advised that this meeting is live streamed via the internet and an audio-visual recording of the meeting will be publicly available on Council's website. By attending this meeting, you consent to your image and/or voice being live streamed and publicly available. Mobile phones must be switched off or turned to silent. Meetings are not to be filmed, photographed, or sound recorded. If I could ask everyone to please stand for the prayer and acknowledgement of Indigenous heritage. God, we pray for wisdom to govern with justice and equity, that we may see clearly and speak the truth, and that we work together in harmony and mutual respect. May our actions demonstrate courage and leadership, so that in all our works thy will be done. Amen. Waverley Council respectfully acknowledges our Indigenous heritage and recognises the ongoing Aboriginal traditional custodianship of the land which forms our local government area. In accordance with Section 233A of the Local Government Act 1993, a councillor must take an oath of office or make an affirmation of office in the form prescribed below at or before the first meeting of council after the councillor is elected. I can confirm that tonight, Councillor Fabiano took the oath. Councillor Fraser took the oath. Councillor Lewis made the affirmation. Councillor Marcellos made the affirmation. Councillor Merton took the oath. Councillor Nemesh took the oath. Councillor Spicer took the oath. Councillor Spooner took the oath. Councillor Stevenson made the affirmation. Councillor Townsend took the oath. And Councillor Westwood took the oath. Councillor Wykenak made the affirmation. And now we move to the first order of business. Are there any apologies or leaves of absence? I think we have a full house. Are there any declarations of pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest? No? Thank you. We now move on to the reports before council this evening, and I move to item ME 3.1, the election of the mayor and the deputy mayor by councillors. The first item tonight is the election of mayor and deputy mayor. Could I have a mover and seconder for the recommendation?
Happy to move.
I have a mover from Councillor Nemesh and Councillor Lewis was seconder. Thank you. Would the mover like to speak to the motion? No. Would the seconder like to speak? Thank you. Are there any submissions from councillors? No. Mover in reply? I will now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour of the motion? All those against the motion? I think that's unanimously passed. Thank you. I declare the motion carried. I will now conduct the election for the mayor. So I have received a valid nomination from Councillor Ludovico Fabiano for mayor. I have received a valid nomination for mayor from Councillor Stephen Lewis. I've also received a valid nomination for mayor from Councillor William Nemesh. I call for any further nominations. I make a further call for nominations for mayor. There being no other nominations, I now close nominations. Do any of the nominated councillors wish to withdraw their nomination? No? At the close of nominations, I have received 3 written nominations in the prescribed form, 1 from Councillor Lewis, 1 from Councillor Fabiano, and 1 from Councillor Nemesh. Council has resolved to elect the mayor by open voting, which is by show of hands. Each councillor is entitled to vote for only 1 candidate. I'm going to invite up the nominees for mayor to actually stand up and be scrutineers and observe the election if you choose. So you're most welcome to come up and stand if you would like. You don't have to, no pressure. Yeah. So to choose the order in which the nominations are called to be voted on, I now will write each candidate's name on a slip of paper and deposit it in the ballot box. The first name out of the ballot box will be written first on the tally sheet, and with the second name and the third name being second on the tally sheet and third on the tally sheet. So again, if anyone would like to observe the process, you're most welcome. Richard, you can observe me. And for those in the public gallery, we use containers. So Councillor Fabiano's name goes in a container. Councillor Stephen Lewis's name goes in a container. And Councillor Nemesh. Name goes in the container. I will now ask our Executive Manager of Governance to shake the box. Oh, don't get, oh my goodness. Actually, maybe I should have not asked the executive manager to shake the box. Can I just confirm there are three in there? Thank you.
Very thorough.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to open it and I'll just choose out? Okay, the first name out of the ballot box is Councillor Stephen Lewis. We are writing that down. The second name out of the ballot box is Councillor Nemesh. And the third name is Councillor Fabiano, I'm guessing. Yes, I'm correct. Thank you. Thanks, Sharon. Thank you, Richard. So that's what I was managed. Okay, and now I will commence the election. Can those councillors voting for Councillor Lewis please raise their hand? So there are 6 votes for Councillor Lewis. Can those councillors voting for Councillor Nemesh please raise their hand? There are 6 votes for Councillor Nemesh. And can those councillors voting for Councillor Fabiano please raise their hand? Oh yeah, sorry, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, thank you. I will now confirm my tally with Executive Manager Governance, 6-6. Okay. So we now do this bit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, are we good? Okay, there being 6 votes for Councillor Lewis and 6 votes for Councillor Nemesh, I declare there to be an equal number of votes for both candidates. The Mayor will therefore be chosen by lot. I do invite the candidates again to come and observe the process if they would like to, because clearly we're running such a professional show. Thank you. So I've got councillor Lewis's name in the container. Maybe I'll get somebody else to help me, Richard. Okay, do you want to move the box? And councillor Nemesh's name. Oh, thank you. Okay. Maybe lock it and then shake.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Do you want to check it as well?
I think I can.
Tara, do you want to check it?
Yeah. Will or Stephen, would you
Anyone-
like
anyone
to
else want
have a
to
shake? No? Oh, go on. Stephen, no?
Sufficiently shaken?
Okay, so it's shaken. I declare that councillor William Nemesh. Election on the 15th of September 2025. Okay, do I have my container here to go? And new pieces of paper? Mhm. I will now conduct the election for the deputy mayor. Do you have the? Is there? I have received a valid nomination for deputy mayor from councillor Stephen Lewis. Mhm. I have also received a valid nomination for deputy mayor from councillor William Nemesh.
Happy to withdraw that.
Okay, thank you. I've also received a valid nomination for deputy mayor from councillor Kerry Spooner. I've received a valid nomination for deputy mayor from councillor Michelle Stevenson. And I've received a valid nomination for deputy mayor from councillor Dominic Wykenak. That's all of them. So four. I call for any further nominations.
I wish to
Councillor
withdraw my
Lewis.
nomination.
Okay, thank you, councillor Lewis. I call for any further nominations. I make a further call for nominations. There being no other nominations, I now close the nominations. Do any of the nominated councillors wish to withdraw their nominations? No? Okay, thank you. At the close of nominations, I have received 3 written nominations in the prescribed form. One for councillor Dominic Wykenak, one from councillor Michelle Stevenson, and one from councillor Kerry Spooner. Council has resolved to elect the deputy mayor by open voting, which is by a show of hands. Each councillor is entitled to vote for only one candidate. And again, I'd like to invite the candidates up if they would like to observe the process. So to choose the order in which the nominations are called to be voted on, I now will write each candidate's name on a slip of paper and deposit it in the ballot box. The first name out of the ballot box will be written first on the tally sheet, with the second name being second on the tally sheet and the third name being the third on the tally sheet. So Councillor Michelle Stevenson. Councillor Dominic Wykenak. And Councillor Kerry Spooner. Hey. We will now shake the ballot box. The first name out of the ballot box is Councillor Michelle Stevenson. The second name out of the ballot box is Councillor Kerry Spooner. And the third name out of the ballot box is Councillor Dominic Wykenak. Can those, there are, can those councillors voting for Councillor Michelle Stevenson, please raise your hand. So there are 6 votes for Councillor Stevenson. Can those councillors voting for Councillor Kerry Spooner please raise their hand? There are 4 votes for Councillor Spooner. And can those councillors voting for Councillor Dominic Wykenak please raise their hand? There are 2 votes for Councillor Dominic Wykenak. There being 6 votes for Councillor Stevenson and 4 votes for Councillor Spooner and 2 votes for Councillor Wykenak, I declare that Councillor Wykenak, having the lowest number of votes, is excluded. The 2 remaining candidates are Councillor Michelle Stevenson and Councillor Kerry Spooner. Can those councillors voting for Councillor Michelle Stevenson please raise their hand? There are 6 votes for Councillor Michelle Stevenson. Can those councillors voting for Councillor Kerry Spooner please raise their hand? There are 6 votes for Councillor Spooner. I will now confirm my tally with the Executive Manager of Governance. 6-0. Okay. There being 6 votes for Councillor Stevenson and there being 6 votes for Councillor Spooner, I declare there to be an equal number of votes for both candidates. The Deputy Mayor will therefore be chosen by lot. Again, if the candidates wish to observe the process, please come up. So Councillor Michelle Stevenson's name goes in the container. And councillor Kerry Spooner's name goes in the container. Richard, you can shake the box.
Shake it again.
No, do you want to hold it? I declare that councillor Kerry Spooner is elected as deputy mayor until the next mayoral election, mayoral election on the 15th of September 2026. I would now like to invite the newly elected mayor, councillor Will Nemesh, to come up and share the meeting. And I'll also ask you if you would like to don the robe and the chain.
Just before we get to casual vacancies, I wouldn't mind saying a few words, and I would offer the same councillor Spooner say a few words after me as well, if she would like. Some things in life come down to luck, or in this case, the proverbial hat. It's really a great honour and privilege to serve as mayor this wonderful community for the next 2 years. Thanks. I look forward to working with all councillors collaboratively and cooperatively so that together we can achieve the outcomes our community expects from us. Firstly, so I'm not one for long speeches, but I do want to acknowledge just a number of people here tonight. One doesn't get here in this position on their own. So firstly, to the community who elected me now for the 3rd term, I have absolutely loved representing you for the past 7 years and will continue to do so with the same enthusiasm and passion. To my beautiful wife, Nicole, who has been part of this journey from the start, she has been and continues to be my #1 supporter. And she's also made numerous personal sacrifices to support me and in my community service endeavours. She's been incredibly understanding, and I would not be here without her. To my parents, John and Ruth, who instilled in me from a young age the importance of respect, kindness and community service, I would not have wished for more supportive parents. You've both been role models and have shaped me who I am to this day. They also, along with my grandparents, instilled in me pride in being Jewish and for our traditions, which as Jews spans over 5,700 years. I'm proud to be the first Jewish mayor since George Newhouse, and I believe the first Jewish Liberal mayor. My Liberal team, you are amazing and extraordinary. We did not have long to campaign, but we worked hard and we worked cohesively and for our community, and the results showed. I'm privileged to be on this council with you, and together we will be making a lasting contribution and impact. To my former Liberal team who mentored me and showed me the ropes, I would not have been here without you. So thank you, Sally, who's here today, Leon, Angela, and Tony. And to the staff of Waverley Council and to the GM, Emily Scott and her team, for the past 7 years, you have supported me to make our local area the best it can be. I could not have achieved what I have without your assistance, guidance, and support. And to the Berger family, particularly Leslie, your support of me as an employee has been nothing short of tremendous. You've supported and nurtured my ambitions, and I would not be in this position without you. And to all the people who are here today to support us councillors, thank you. Thank you for showing an interest and support in the important work that we do. You are the strength that helps us do what we can for our community, and often at the expense of the time with you all. And just some concluding remarks. I want this term of council to be one where we get things done. I want a back to basics approach. The community is tired of empty promises. We will be a council that doesn't talk the talk, but walks the walk. We have a vision to revitalise the commercial zones and entertainment precincts so that our area remains to be the best place to live, work, and visit. We are a destination, we are iconic, and we need to deliver on this. We understand that housing is a critical issue that requires action from all levels of government. We will not abrogate our responsibility to deliver housing, but in a way that is appropriate for our local area and delivered in such a way that does not reduce our current amenity. We live in the best part of the best city, the best country in the world. But the past year has been particularly tough for our community, and we've seen the fraying of fabric that is our social cohesion, not just in Waverley, but across the nation. As the mayor of this community, I say enough is enough. I will not tolerate hate. I will not tolerate anti-Semitism. We will, as a council, do what must be done to stand up for our community and for our community to feel safe and for our community to feel valued. I'm extremely excited about the future and what we can achieve together. And I look forward to working with all of you to ensure we remain the best place to live, work, and visit. So thank you. I invite Councillor Spooner.
Thanks very much, Will, for allowing me or inviting me to speak tonight. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the people of Waverley who voted for us and who had some faith in the democratic process and found their way to a polling booth, either pre-poll or on election day. And I know that for many people, that was an effort, and we should thank them and acknowledge them. I also want to acknowledge and thank very much my colleagues here who worked very hard for the campaign, and particularly Stephen Lewis for his leadership in over the election period and so on. I also like to acknowledge Paula Marcellus, the former mayor of Waverley, who did a fine job and in fact launched many of the programs which we're now going to see come to fruition. Finally, of course, I need to thank our Greens on campus, tells you where I come from, doesn't it? On council for voting for me tonight. We are about community, and we are about supporting the community and working for the community. And that's certainly what I know my colleagues and I will be focusing on over the next couple of years. I agree with Will that we need a focus on basics and getting jobs done, and I see Emily nodding as well. We have big challenges. There are huge economic pressures on people, and we need, in whatever way we can, to be alleviating those. In many ways, working with our state and federal governments is going to be the key to that. Working with our state representatives, for example, Marjorie O'Neill, and ensuring that our people can get the buses and don't have to drive cars, that our children and our grandchildren do have somewhere to live, ensuring that our hospitals can take us. So many of the things that we are concerned about will in fact involve us working effectively with other tiers of government. And I'm sure that we will be able to do that. And that's basically all I need to say. Thank you very much. And I look forward to working with the members of council.
Thank you, Councillor Spooner. So getting back to the agenda, ME 3.2, casual vacancies. I'll move that as printed. Do I get a seconder? Councillor Westwood, thank you. I don't have anything really further to say on this. I think it's fairly self-explanatory. Suffice to say, the recommendation is if a councillor is it a casual vacancy of a council within 18 months, it will be a count back as opposed to a by-election. Councillor Westwood, would you like to say anything on the matter? No? Reserve or waive? Waive. Okay. Any other councillors like to speak? No. In that case, I waive my reply and put it to a vote. All in favour? That is Councillor Lewis. Yep, that's unanimous. Report ME 3.3, Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference 2024. So the recommendation.
Yes.
The council, the recommendation is that council in respect of the Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference to be held on Sunday the 17th of November to Tuesday the 19th of November 2024 nominates the Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and there are 3 councillor names there. I'm happy to entertain some names. No, it's slightly outside of procedure. Councillor Fabiano would like to be one.
Yes, I'd like to be one. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Fabiano. Any other councillors would like to nominate?
I'd like to nominate. Thank you.
Councillor Merton. And Wykenak. And would there like to be a reserve voting delegate? Oh. We don't have to have a reserve voting delegate. So, yeah, so we can expunge that. So I'm happy to move that. Do I get a seconder? Second, Councillor Fraser. Thank you. Don't feel I need to talk to this motion. Seconder? Nope. Any other speakers? Nope. In that case, just put it to a vote. All in favour? And that's unanimous. Passed. And lastly, urgent business. No urgent business. I call the meeting closed. The general manager's